Welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs. Today we're going to talk about Mizzou basketball and how things may be changing for this team to make a good season even better. Now, before we start with that, I need you, all of you, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, all of that. Please help us out there. Right, so Isiaih Mosley and Mohamed Diara in the past couple weeks have begun to emerge as two really new options for Dennis Gates, trying to just make this team win more games. And different situations. Isiaih Mosley played a little bit and then just sat. And there's been speculation about whatever personal issue or whatever. I've heard rumors, I'm not going to share them. If you search the message boards enough, you'll see the same things. Point is, he's back now. Mohamed Diara, totally different, coming from the JUCO ranks. He just appears to have needed some more time to get up to speed. And, he got the time he needed to develop and adjust to playing high major basketball as opposed to at the JUCO level. Now, this depth that these guys bring up, it's huge because both of them could be starters. Isiaih Mosley was a starter against Ole Miss, and Diara is getting an increasing number of minutes. He could be a starter soon. Either way, this is depth for the team. Just more guys who are able to contribute, right? So that's always good when you're talking about injuries or foul trouble. But Dennis Gates has already shown, he showed very early, that he's not afraid of just going with the hot hand. And you look back to the Wichita State game, Kobe Brown was not on the floor down the stretch at all. If he was having a bad game, Dennis Gates was not afraid to say, look, man, it's just not your night. You're our stud, but tonight's just not it. Well, with two more guys proving that they can be a factor, that gives more options and increases the likelihood that there's going to be somebody who's just got the hot hand or is feeling it. Whether that be Mosley draining threes or Mohamed Diarra just has whatever move that some post defender can't stop or whatever. And I think it's also important to note both of these guys fix multiple weaknesses that Missouri has as a team. And I say fix. They at least make these weaknesses not as weak. I'll say that. We'll find out if they can fix any of these issues entirely. I want to talk about Isiaih Mosley first. So, the most highly touted transfer coming from Missouri State, 20 points a game, all that. And you look at his game, what does he do that Missouri doesn't really have? Well, he's the one guy who can go create a shot. He's got the moves to get to the rack or, fake going to the rack, step back, and create space against a defender who was up against him, create that space for an open three. That's important for a number of reasons. One, Missouri, as an offense, is lethal in transition, not so much if they are slowed down into a half-court offense. We saw this in the Texas A&M and Florida games. A&M, I'd say specifically. The team, when forced into a half-court set, just nowhere near as effective. Well, Isiaih Mosley kind of negates that because part of the reason Missouri was ineffective in the half court is because no one could create their shot. If they got the ball and there was somebody there, they're just kind of stuck. Isiaih Mosley can get around that. He can get around defenders and create looks, make defenders sag off of their man to play some help defense, and then then there's Kobe or Diara or whoever wide open down for a dunk. Something of that nature is now more of an option because of Mosley's game. His three-point shooting, as I mentioned, he is able to create his own shot when something may not have been there to begin with. When you think of Missouri's three-point shooting throughout most of the season, it's been D'Moi Hodge. Well, Hodge is good at just getting himself into the corner and in position to shoot a three in transition, or just catch the ball off a pick or whatever play and just immediately jack a three. He does not create his own shot when he's already got the basketball. I mean, that how many times have we talked about D'Moi Hodge having the quick release and that being such a huge benefit? It's because he doesn't really have the ability to shake a defender once somebody's established against him, right? Mosley is a different variation of three-point shooter than that. He can create that space. That is huge. Aside from the offense with Mosley, it took like 2 games and everyone's saying, wait a minute, this guy might be the best passer on the team. Again, good. That's huge. I had a coach when I was a kid who would say that he'd rather have the 5 best passers than he'd rather have them than the 5 best shooters. Because good passers can find an open man and an easy shot. Mosley can help with that. People were worried that he wouldn't play defense, but his defense, the effort's been there. I won't say he's an elite defender by any means, but people were worried that he wouldn't take defense seriously and wouldn't put in the effort on that end. That's not an issue. So you can't ask for a whole lot more from Isiaih Mosley, especially given the fact that he's only now starting to get back in the swing of things. We saw him find his three-point shot against Ole Miss. I think we're starting to see Mosley get back there, but I think he's got a little bit more dust to shake off. I really do. So, yeah, I think he's going to be huge. Similarly, Mohamed Diarra, 6'10" in the middle. Huge for Missouri. Rebounding, obviously. That is a big weak point for Missouri, perhaps the most glaring weakness. Well, having a 6'10" guy who actually knows how to box out, that's huge. And that height is also affecting shots. Guys go down and maybe they're not in a position to have their shot blocked, but they know you can, just as the shot goes up, you can see the wheels turning, that they know there's a 6'10" guy lurking around there who can block a shot. And it's affecting the way the ball goes up. Again, huge. What has Missouri been giving up a lot? Part of the rebounds, second chance points. Well, you clean up the rebounding with Diara, at least to an extent, and more shots are altered that are just garbage. That helps Missouri's defense. That's huge. He's a post presence when Missouri doesn't really have a presence, right? You look at what Missouri has down low and you're talking about Kobe Brown, who, let's face it, is most effective when he's either got a mismatch or he's outside, honestly, and works his way in. He's not your traditional post, even at 250 pounds. I think that Mohamed Diarra allows Kobe Brown that flexibility so that other teams don't know what matchup they want. You know, if Kobe Brown is having to be your post presence, okay, then you put your power forward, center, whoever, against Kobe Brown, and it's just a post-on-post matchup. With Diarra in there and being effective on both ends of the court, as he's been the last few games, that affords Kobe Brown the flexibility to maybe be the 4, maybe be the 3. And maybe you have Aiden Shaw in there. Maybe you have Noah Carter or whoever down there. But it gives Kobe Brown that flexibility, making him all the more dangerous. It also helps that Aiden Shaw at this point is just not ready offensively. Defensively, he's a factor. But offensively, can you think of Aiden Shaw hitting a shot from more than about 3 feet, aside from a three-pointer against Arkansas? It's really most of what he does offensively is alley-oops and putbacks, layups, that sort of thing. He's not a big factor offensively yet. Now, this was expected. It's not a shot at him. But while he's developing, Diarra is, I won't say stopgap, but he's an alternative offensively. so that Missouri can make rotations and substitutions in the post and still have offensive weapons down low. Again, flexibility. So I think when you look at these two guys, one thing they have in common is that their situations were unique in their own way, and they were handled, it appears, perfectly or close to it. And that's a credit to Dennis Gates. He did not rush Diarra. Missouri getting crushed on the boards every night, giving up second chance points, not really having a post presence offensively. It'd be very easy to just, by Thanksgiving, say, all right, Diarra, go get him. You're 6'10". We need you. Well, Gates did not do that. And that probably helped with Diarra's confidence. If he'd have been rushed in there, it could have nuked his confidence. And it could have just totally stunted his development as a player. So Missouri just fighting through those disadvantages down low. Missouri might be in a position to reap the benefits of that down the stretch here. With Mosley, again, it's beautifully done coaching because the situation has proved to the players that Gates has their back. And Isaiah Mosley was given the space he needs. He's in a good headspace, it seems anyway. And now he is in a position where he can be a factor. You rush him back or pressure him back in, there's no telling. I don't know the guy. Mental health is a thing. Whatever situation was going on could have affected him in that way. I don't know. That's complete speculation, but it could have happened. I don't know. But by giving Mosley the space he needed and not rushing him back onto the court, whatever the situation is resolved enough that Mosley is comfortable being back on the court. And he's quickly getting his groove back and is going to be a factor. So huge there by Gates, just handling the situations, really treating the guys as human beings instead of cogs in a machine, as a lot of coaches might do. So good on Gates there. You look at these guys becoming factors, and then you look at Missouri's schedule. There's some opportunities there. Missouri already faced the hardest stretch of the schedule. Arkansas twice, Kentucky, who was down but is emerging again, at A&M, at Florida, even at Ole Miss, on the road in the SEC is never easy. So you look at that, and Missouri got through 4-4 in league play, heading into the Iowa State game. That's not bad. You can deal with that, especially considering the fact that Missouri still has South Carolina, LSU twice, Mississippi State twice, I believe. A home game against A&M. There's opportunities to pick up wins. So, yeah. It's big that these guys are becoming factors right as the schedule opens itself up as much as it ever will in Power 5 competition. That's all I've got, guys. I just want to talk about how these guys are making what already is a fun and exciting Missouri basketball season feel like there's a lot more left and how it could get even more exciting. So I get the feeling that I'm not alone in feeling that way. Let me know what you think in the comments. Guys, keep it here under the Arch Sports, talking everything in the world of sports. Spring training coming up just a few weeks. We'll be talking a lot of Cardinal baseball coming up. And the Blues. And hey, spring football, not too far away. Thanks for checking out this video. See y'all next time.